Hello staff. Today I'll be walking you through how to download the Learning Walk form onto your iPad, edit it, and then send it out to the individuals for whom you are doing your walkthrough on. My suggestion is that you go through this process before your Learning Walk, as it will then save some time and allow you to spend time observing in the classroom and not dealing with the technology. Our hope is, as always, to increase your knowledge and understanding of technology, as well as getting into the classrooms and watching over our teachers. So you will notice on the screen that I have sent and received an email to myself called Learning Walk Form. It says please see attached, and below you'll notice that there is an attached form. The form is called January Learning Walk. What we're going to do is we're going to tap and hold that form until it opens this pop-up menu. You will most likely not have as many options on your iPad as I do, as I've played with quite a variety of programs. But if you downloaded the Documents program that I asked you to open previously, you should have that one located. You will see that here in the upper left-hand corner called Open in Documents. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and tap on that document, and you will see, you might see this come up if you do, but basically you'll see a document come up and you will see the 5 questions that we have. Now, unfortunately, because we've downloaded this document, specifically the way it is, the document itself is not editable. It's just an open document. And so what you need to do is we need to copy and paste this work into an open document that you can use on Documents to Go. However, if you were paying for the full version of this, this would be an editable document. However, since we want to just use our free options for now, we do have to add this extra step. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the word what in the first question. And what will eventually happen is you'll see it highlighted like I do here. Right? And then I'm going to let go of the screen, and it's going to give me an option. I can copy or I can define, but you'll also notice the blue circles that kind of enclose the word what. If I were to drag this bottom circle here all the way across and down, you'll notice that I'm able to highlight the first 2 questions. Okay, and then it gives me an option to copy. At this point, this is very similar to a text box or anything that you've done on Microsoft Word. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to highlight the entire page. So I'm going to scroll down, not clicking in the box area, but I'm going to scroll down just so the box area, the bottom dot, is on the top of the screen. I'm going to click on that bottom dot and I'm going to pull down. And then I'm going to click on the last bottom dot and I'm going to pull down again. In this regard, you'll notice that the option of copy is still available to me, and I'm going to go ahead and click that option of copy. When I do, it turns blue and it disappears. All right, at this point, I'm going to go back to the upper left-hand corner where it says January Learning Walk, and I'm going to click back. When I do that, it's going to take me back to my original document, and then I'm going to do it again. It's going to take me back to this document. And you may have nothing, as you see here. You may have a few other things as I do, depending on what you've played with ahead of time. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and come down in the lower right-hand corner, and I'm going to hit the plus sign, which just happens to be above the little add banner at the bottom. When I hit the plus sign, it's going to ask me what I want to create, a document, a spreadsheet, a photo, or a folder. In this case, I want to create a document. So I'm going to click on Document, and it's going to bring me to a blank screen. You'll notice in the bottom left-hand corner, I have the option to play with some font choices, bold, italicized, underlined. These are text colors or text sizes and colors, and some other options. In this case, I'm just going to tap in the upper left-hand corner under the word File. When I do that, I get a blinking cursor and a keyboard that comes up. Okay? Now, obviously, at this point, you can start typing, doing whatever it is that you feel you need to do. For your purposes, we're going to click and hold, very similar to the thing we did the first time on the word what. We're going to click and hold until we get the little circle option that comes up. When we let go, you'll be given an option to paste. We're going to click paste. When we do that, what you will notice is that up in the top area, we now have the questions that we imported from the document before. We actually copied and pasted them. Now what you can do is, because this is an editable document now that we've made, you can go ahead and you can type in whatever answer you want. So I am observing a math classroom. Okay, and that's your answer at this point in time. However, since you're only sharing this amongst staff, I suggest you be very as specific as you can be with your answers. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to hide the keyboard. Over on the right, you see the word hide. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the keyboard. The intention is just to get the keyboard to move out of the way. Now the question becomes, how do I save this and how do I send it? Okay. If I click on the word file, again, I'm in the upper left-hand corner. If I click on the word file, once I'm done, it's going to give me an option. Do I save? Do I save as? Do I make it plain text, or do I discard? In this case, I'm going to save as. It's going to give me the option of what I want to call the document. We want to leave the extension RTA at the end because we want this to be an editable document within documents. So in this case, we only want to change the first name. So let's, for this sake of an example, say I was observing Derek Lindsay's classroom. I might call this Lindsay Social Studies. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Save after I type that in. All right, you'll notice now that it's Lindsay Social Studies. So maybe I come down here and I'll make a couple of comments here, or whatever the case may be. I can completely edit the document in this regard. All right, and I'm done. However, I don't really want to do this every single time. And what happens is you can always overwrite the file, or you can do save as. So in this case, even though I've used this as Lindsay SS, right, it's Lindsay Social Studies, let's say I'm going to go into another classroom. So I delete what I had previously written, and now I'm going to put, observing a music classroom. Okay. Again, if I click on File and I click on Save As, I'm given the option to change the name. By changing the name, what I now have the option, let's call this Lindsay Martin for music. When I change the name, I've now saved multiple copies of the same file. Okay? And so to see that I've saved multiple copies of the same file, I'm going to click on File again. I'm going to just click on Discard. And what you'll notice is back in my inbox, or my file structure, these are the documents that are saved within the program. I have the Lindsay SS file right here, and I can still go in and edit on that. Okay. To get back to that screen, I just simply click on Discard. And I have the Martin file, which I again can edit. And you'll notice now that that file has been changed, and it's now an editable document. And the point of what we're trying to do is get you to the point where you can edit the documents. Okay. From here, the question becomes now, hey, I'm done with my observation. I've made my notes on the page, and I want to send those notes to the teacher. Because again, two-way feedback is one of the most important things that we can do. So in this case, the two-way feedback brings me to this menu, which is the menu we just came off of out of editing the document. And I want to send this to a fellow colleague. So I'm going to send this to Mr. Lindsay. So if I click on Edit in the top right-hand corner, if I click on the word Edit, I'm going to get a couple of radio buttons. You'll notice those radio buttons down the side. And I'm going to go ahead and click the radio button right next to Mr. Lindsay's name. When I do so, you'll notice down across the bottom we have trash, we have moving folders, we have making a duplicate copy, we have a mail icon, or we have this would be if you wanted to upload this document to Google Docs or Dropbox. It's kind of a send to option. In this case, we're going to hit the mail to option. So I'm going to hit mail. And you're going to notice that it's going to come up with my default mail client. You see that there's my Lindsay SS text. And you'll notice it changed from an RTA to a TXT file so that Derek's default Word document program can open this file. So I'm going to come up to the top and I'm going to type in Mr. Lindsay's name. I have him saved in my contacts. Otherwise, you'd have to type in the entire name. I'm going to go ahead and just send him that file, and I'm going to just send it as is. Now, I've been able to retain a copy of the file, and I've also sent it to the teacher, specifically who I addressed with the need. So I know it's a few steps. I'm sorry that it's a couple extra steps, but when you're using free programs, sometimes these are the breaks. However, this is a great option for students who want to take notes in class. If you're ever using an iPad assignment to take notes, how they can then edit and send these notes to themselves. Of course, you can always edit and you can delete documents as well. So if I'm to go to an old form and I want to delete that document, I just come down to the lower left-hand corner with the delete icon, and when I hit it, it simply just deletes the icon. So even in a scenario where you might only be using these with different students each hour, they can still then send their works. This does also have direct integration with Dropbox if you have a Dropbox account, or Google Docs. In this case, I'll show you Google Docs. I have my Google Docs account tied into this system, and so now I can open any Google Doc, and as you'll see here, here's my entire list of Google Doc accounts, but I can open any Google Doc account or file, folder, structure, calendar, whatever in this program. So for a light free program, it works very well. Dropbox would obviously work the same way. It actually takes you to the Dropbox icon, and it's looking for the integration between the two. And we're going to say we're going to allow that to happen, which I'm okay with because the file's mine and I know I'm not sharing it. And so again, if I were to hit my Dropbox, again, what I have here are all my Dropbox files, and I can now access all my files as well. Okay. So hopefully I recorded this and put it up to YouTube. The reason that I did this is so you could stop it and play it and do it. There you can see Dropbox is telling me I've connected a new app. So pretty instantaneous information. Hopefully you can play it and do as you see fit, and we'll go from there. So very good. Take care and happy learning walking. Thanks.